makeup still looks patchy, oily, or still not giving that flawless, full glam look, you're probably not doing the right things to actually fit the makeup look you're trying to achieve.
Hey baddies, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Nospio Sitole, and today we are doing this full glam inspired specifically by Nigerian makeup, and I'll be using a lot of Nigerian makeup like products. So I just wanted to really try this like extreme HD, which is actually my favorite makeup. Nigerian makeup is literally like, I think top tier. It always looks so brighter. I don't know, the magic that they put in that thing, it's like perfection. So yeah, I hope you guys like this video. Stay tuned, and yeah, I won't be talking much in this video, but I will be there for my voiceover. And yeah, I'm loving this whole look. Like, I don't know, it's the creme de la creme. It's the spice, it's the sauce. Like, you guys, look at this, look at this, look at this, look at this. Look at this. I can't even, like, I just can't even. Just perfect. Ooh, I really love doing this makeup look. And the crazy part is, I didn't even plan on filming this weekend. I just decided to just do it because I was inspired, like at 3 p.m. And now I think it is like, yeah, 20 to 8. So I started this at like 4 p.m. and this is what I have. But I can't even lie, like, I really love this makeup look. I hope you guys enjoy it. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on your notification bells so that you can know when I post my next video. And remember, I'm back, guys. So yes.
So before we even touch foundation, these are the steps that I take, and these are the steps that you guys are not taking to make your makeup actually look super flawless. I always start off with some toner, and then I go straight into my skincare. So skincare is what actually seeps into your skin so that you're not only just looking good on the outside, but your skin is also looking good on the inside. And we can't be doing any random products. You have to do products that are specifically in need for your type of skin. So I've got acne prone skin, and I always go in with a toner, and then I go in with my milky fermented toner by The Ordinary, then vitamin C to bring out the parts of me that I love. But because they are killed by hyperpigmentation, this serum literally helps kill the dark spots and hyperpigmentation basically. So remember baddies, my skin conditions are acne prone skin, hyperpigmentation, literally from all the acne marks, and patchy skin. Like, I need to get a retinol to help the situation, but right now I'm starting off with a hyaluronic acid because I find that after the toner and after the fermented milky toner, this product works amazingly well. And I always put it after my vitamin C serum so that it can absorb well, because it literally takes so much of moisture from your face. So yeah, always go in this third. Then obviously with my skincare conditions, I go in with my niacinamide, which is also something that really helps with brightening. But like I said, I really want to incorporate a retinol, but I just felt like there were too many products in my face. And remember, I told you guys that we're doing something more minimal, more centered to sorting out the main problems, and then I'll sort out that glass skin effect. And last but not least, I always go in with my CeraVe moisturizer, because you cannot be doing makeup and your face is not fully moisturized. Now let's step into the eyebrows. If your eyebrows are always looking just a bit more faded, or you can't really see them, they're not defined in your face, I always go in when I'm doing a full glam look with HD brows. So do what you have to do. Tweeze out the parts that you do not want, because you always want a lifted, a high rise kind of eyebrow, so that it really accentuates the whole makeup look. So I matted my eyebrows after putting the gel with some translucent powder or banana powder that you can use, and then I go in with a very sharp pencil, a pencil that is somewhat close to the color of the eyebrow that you have. So I'm using a dark brown, but I am going to finish it off with a bit of black just to make it more bolder. Remember, we're doing HD brows because of the type of look that we are trying to achieve overall. So the intention is to literally fill your brows in without making them look like 2016 brows. You don't want them more blocky. You still want them looking more natural. So what I usually do is, after lining the brow, I just fill it up a bit, creating light strokes so that you can create a more natural brow. Even though it's HD, it really needs to look natural. Otherwise, what are you doing in 2026? So over here, I'm just filling it up and creating those light strokes with the deep brown pencil. And then straight after that, I'm just going to sharpen the edges with a black pencil. So this part just makes the tail of your eyebrow look more defined, look more neater, and look more HD. And again, that's the effect we're trying to achieve. See how much I've colored the brow, but it still has that natural effect kind of look because I'm creating brush strokes. Whether you like a soft brow, whether you like a deep brow that is fully HD, you always need to carve out your brows with some concealer. So this basically neatens the brow. So with this particular look, I'm just going to be using the concealer on the edge just to brighten and neaten the lines. But in the inside, I kind of like to drag a bit of the product in, but it's not really my main focus. So I always go in with the super light concealer just to, again, accentuate that eyebrow tail and make it look very and very, very bright. Like literally, it must look HD, like it's sticking out. So I go in with the same shade and I also accentuate the tail at the top, again, just to give that HD effect, like the brow is standing out on its own. So again, this is particular to this full glam look. Sometimes when you do something lighter, you don't need to go that hard. So I did my eyeshadow and lashes outside of this video, but if you guys want a tutorial for that as well, I can definitely do it for you guys. Just comment below and let me know. But yeah, there's the eyeshadow look. Another crucial and important step that you guys are missing, and that's why your makeup isn't lasting all day, is the type of primer you guys are using for a specific kind of look. So there's all sorts of primers, like there's a range of primer. For this particular look, because I wanted to stay for the whole night since I'm going out and they might be sweating, and of course I've got oily skin, specifically in my T-zone, is I'm using a gripping primer. And then after that, I let it sit in and go in with my setting spray. So the gripping primer basically locks all the moisture in, and sometimes you guys don't let the gripping primer like sit on your face and become tacky. Look at how my foundation is sitting on the primer. Like it's giving full coverage already. And I'm like got two tones on my face, combination skin, and I've got like a huge birthmark that is darker, so sometimes I always need to use like two different shades for my skin, which is fine. If you guys got that concern, do what you do what you can do to enjoy your makeup and get the look that you're trying to achieve. So yeah, I always go in with something darker, and then in the core of my face I'll go in with a lighter foundation. But that gripping primer literally does the most, especially if you just let it sit for like 5 minutes after your setting spray, and it will literally be like butter. Gripping primer also eliminates that dry, cakey look at the end of it all, because we're going to go in with some pressed powders. We're going to go in with some translucent and setting powders. So you don't want to be having the type of makeup that's like cakey and like it's breaking in your face, and now your skin can't even breathe because you haven't really put the right base to accommodate all the products that will be sitting on top. So now I'm going in with my Maybelline lighter foundation. For me, there is no in-between foundation that I can use on my face. So it's either I buy 2 Maybelline products that can fix into one look, or I use my darker products and then make the Maybelline work. But yeah, for me, I really like this foundation, especially as a finish on top, because it's also like the best foundation for acne prone skin. Like, I cannot lie, it's so mwah, chef's kiss. And then you guys, you must blend. Also, the brush that you're using, make sure it's the kind of brush that also doesn't take a lot of products. Make sure it's a dense brush, but that's also fluffy, so that it can give this smooth kind of effect. Because sometimes the makeup be looking patchy, sometimes the foundation be looking inconsistent in the face, but the type of brush, the type of tools you use help that. So now we're on to the make it or break it step, the concealer step. So if your under eyes crease too much, I think that's because you're putting too much product under your under eye and you're not placing it in the right places. You see how I'm literally putting it inside my face, because it's supposed to illuminate my face. It's supposed to literally bring up my features, and you're supposed to spread it out and you're supposed to let it sit in your face a bit so that it can oxidize and become its own true color before you blend it out. And also the consistency of the concealer after you let it sit in just becomes more mattifying, or I think more blurring, but it's always better. It doesn't blend in with the foundation. So because concealer basically sculpts your face, it's the base to sculpting before we go into contouring, you need to make sure that you keep the concealer in its intended areas. So don't be spreading the concealer around. That's why I'm using a smaller brush when it comes to this step, so that it keeps everything in a controlled zone. Remember, we are sculpting over here because we're trying to create that full glam HD kind of look. So you see how it's melting in better, because I kind of let the product sit in. So it's not just blending in with my foundation. Everything got time to sit. Makeup is all about patience and taking your time. This is a girly thing to be doing. So what do girly girls do? They take their time, okay? So if you need to wake up a bit early, or you need to start getting ready a bit earlier, that's what you got to do, because in fact, a girly girl should be doing that, okay? So yes, don't over blend, but try your best to keep the product within its place. So don't be now spreading it all over your forehead. Don't be spreading it everywhere else. Do you see how I'm taking it step by step? And then in the end, it all comes together and gives that cohesive look while sculpting and giving you a more shaped face. So also press the makeup in, press the products in. Don't be like sliding it over, making it do weird things. Make sure you keep it within its place. So now we're gonna brighten our face. So brightening is basically in those inner parts of your face, those crevices, you just essentially want it more brighter. So I'm just gonna leave a super lighter concealer shade on while I contour my nose. So again, remember, we leave the product to sit in. So while I'm doing one step, I'm applying the darker shade to create that shadow for my nose, so that I have a more elongated, sharper nose, so that too will sit in when I blend out my brightening concealer. So on this step, we are doing our blush. So this is essential for times where your makeup looks flat. It looks like you don't have blood in your system, and it just brings life back into the glam. Like, it brings the blood, the flesh back into the glam. So I'm using a purple blush, but look at how red it comes out. But because I am dark skinned, purple blush literally looks so supernatural for us. And obviously apply it in the areas you want to apply it in, because sometimes you can get wild with blush, and then spread it out gently. This is another step that needs you to take some time, because you can easily look like a clown. Another key step when it comes to blush is always make sure you keep it specifically in the area that you would be seeing where you would be blushing. So don't put it too low where your contour and bronzer is supposed to sit. Eventually it will blend out, especially because now we're using a deeper bigger brush to make it blend out, because obviously this blush was wet. And then we're going to go in with the powder brush in the end when we're doing all our powder products. So wet products first, setting spray, and then our pressed powders. So I'm just going to add a bit of more blush just to bring out that color, because it's still going to be faded away throughout my whole rest of my steps basically. So now we're on to my favorite part, which is the pressed powders. This part of this whole routine is what literally elevates your makeup. So if your base already looks good in terms of hydrated, the way that it looks glistening on my face, that's amazing. But pressed powders literally give that smooth airbrush finish because it locks all the products in. So by the end of the day, your makeup is not running down your face, because your skin can get oily. Even if you got dry skin, your skin can really get oily because of all the products that you have compacted on your face, blocking your pores. So I'm going in with darker powders first, just to create that contour, and then in these areas I'm literally going in with a powder that is more suited for my foundation look, you see. And then now I'm going in with a lighter one just to accentuate the highlight that we had put in. So makeup is basically the same steps. So the same steps that you used when you were highlighting your face, applying foundation, is the same steps that you'll be using when it comes to our pressed powders. So in the areas that you are highlighting, obviously now you're going to go in with a pressed powder that matches that kind of a color. It might be a bit darker, but it definitely in the light areas you'll apply the light shades. And always make sure that you keep whatever product that is meant for that particular area. If it is a light powder, put it on the light areas that highlight the face. Don't be dragging it out to the rest of the face. You see how you can even still see the contour line, because I haven't spread the lighter powder out. Now I'm going into contour with a darker pressed powder just to accentuate my contour. And do you see how my contour is on the cooler side? Because it's a contour, not a bronzer. We're not bronzing yet. And a contour is basically something that creates shadow and depth back into your face to sculpt your face well. So always make sure that it's on the cooler side and not the deep warmer side. Now I'm using a different brush to go in with my lighter colors. So remember, the lighter colors go into the highlighted areas, not the contoured areas. So again, this just creates that airbrush finish that you actually desire, and it holds your makeup in. After using translucent powder, you see how every product gets to come in. And I don't know if I've already explained this, but please keep the product where it's meant to stay, lighter parts in the lighter areas. Yes, so now we're baking our face, and baking is literally what it is. We're cooking in the kitchen. So this step is to set your under eyes. I'm using a translucent powder with a wet beauty blender. So this is just a step that I saw from another creator today, and I just thought I would try it out, because I always use a beauty blender. If not, I use a brush to collect the powder. So yeah, so all the areas that you are also trying to keep mattified, this is what this product does. So I'm using a translucent, more of a shade. Basically, this is the last step that literally seals off this makeup and gives that airbrush finish. So it's a very crucial step, and it also absorbs a lot of moisture. So I'm just brushing out the product, the excess product, so that it doesn't bulk up and clunk up in your face and then it looks a bit dodgy. I was enjoying my beauty blender, but now I want to go back to my brush just to brush it out with something more safer and something that will not disrupt the makeup that is underneath. So now in terms of dry products, in terms of our pressed powders, now I'm going in with a pressed blush. And it also does the same thing. It accentuates that blush so that it doesn't slide off by 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So everything here in this particular end step is to lock the makeup in. So yes, we're going to apply some fixing and setting spray, but the powders also go a long way in terms of locking the makeup in. So now I'm blending it off so to give that natural effect. So I went in with a lighter shade again to give that natural effect even with the blush, so that we don't be looking like clowns. But do you see how mattified my face is? Like, I'm really loving this look. So now that I'm happy with all my wet products and dry products, I'm just going to bring a little bit of sprinkle into this look with some highlight. So when most people usually go wrong with this part is that they use too much in the wrong areas. So all you're just trying to do is to just bring even more dimension to the face, because this is a full glam look. So you only need to do it like literally in the apex of your cheeks or your cheekbones, just to bring out that just, I don't know, like that glow back into your mattified face. And I'm gonna go in with it also at the bridge of my nose, just to give that sharper effect. I always blend it out a bit because I like it a bit matted down and looking more natural. So yeah, top of my lip, corner of my eyebrows before, and then I go in with my mascara at the bottom of my eyelashes, just to again give that full HD look. I love this mascara because it is so, like, the bristles are so big, but I always go in with my MAC mascara because those bristles are like super thin. They're like a thin comb, and because I'm a girl who's got very weird lashes, of course, women, we're not blessed with the most amazing lashes, so I always need to use double mascaras just to do half the job. So now I'm gonna line my lip just to have a more defined lip. There's nothing to this step. You just line at literally the edges of your lip, and you're trying to create the kind of lip that you want. So because I'm an African baddie who already has thick lips, I'm not gonna overline them, because for me, I don't really like that kind of a look on myself. On other people, it looks like super cutesy, but again, makeup works with what you want to see. So the only thing I really truly overline is my upper lip, but that's because I just like the effect that it creates, the contrast between the product on my face and my lip. It literally looks like a picture, so I just like that HD effect as a whole. Now I'm going in with my shimmer setting spray. So this is a setting spray, but it also has a bit of glitter on it, a bit of shimmer. So since I'm going out tonight, I kind of want, if the light hits me, to have just that extra bit of glow that looks very natural. So it's not bold, and you can't see it now because I've got studio lights on, but in the dark it really does the thing. So it's basically glitter in a bottle. I'm so pleased with this makeup. Oh my gosh, like, I'm in love with this makeup. So there you have it, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below on parts that you resonate with or parts that you guys want to see again. But yeah, makeup just takes consistency, and anyone is able to achieve this kind of a look. Don't be afraid. It is a baddie look for sure. And yeah, rewind, replay, and see what you like, and perfect what you don't feel is working for you. Bye.